Right now on Good Morning America, first look, breaking overnight. A tourist seaplane crashes north of Seattle with 11 on board. Those inside seen rushing from the smoking plane moments before it goes up in flames. 2 men are stabbed in broad daylight in a wealthy New York City neighborhood. The attacks now being investigated as possible hate crimes. New fallout after the deadly police shooting in Madison, Wisconsin. The family of Corey Ruiz taking action as protests grip the city. Plus, President Trump says he's considering a, quote, massive attack on Iran. Caught on camera, a tornado in China sends a car flying. The new controversy surrounding the Odyssey. The Viking ship owners who say the hit film stiffed them. And the real-life friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can, spins away.
From ABC News, this is Good Morning America, First Look.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sophie Flagg.
And I'm Hannah Batal. We begin with breaking news. Overnight, a tourist seaplane crashing off the coast of Washington state with 11 people on board.
The terrifying moment all caught on video. The plane can be seen skimming low over the water before banking hard and crashing into the rocky shoreline. Passengers scrambling out of the cabin as Good Samaritans rush in to help. Moments later, flames erupting from the engine, fire swallowing the plane. Authorities say all 11 survived, the pilot and 10 passengers. Several were hurt. One person is in critical condition. Investigators now working to determine why the pilot attempted an emergency landing. The NTSB and FAA are investigating, and the company says it is cooperating.
Now to the broad daylight stabbings in New York City being investigated as possible hate crimes. Here's ABC's Andrea Fujii.
This morning, 2 men are recovering after police say they were stabbed in separate attacks in New York City, now being investigated as possible hate crimes. This is one of the victims, a Jewish man lying outside a church and synagogue after getting stabbed on the Upper West Side.
And the next thing I see is a screwdriver in his chest. I walked right next to the attacker. Basically, he was just a few feet away from me. He didn't seem crazy. You know, sometimes you see people, they're screaming, they're acting weird. He was not.
Not long before that attack, another man of Asian descent was stabbed in the back near Central Park.
All I know is I was just praying that he was going to get to the emergency room.
The suspect ran off after the attacks, but police were able to catch him after he barricaded himself in an apartment building, not answering questions when police led him out in handcuffs.
What happened? What happened? Why you did it?
Police say witnesses reported hearing the suspect shout Allahu Akbar, Arabic for God is greatest. The NYPD says it's investigating whether the stabbings were hate crimes. But police said the suspect's mental health also appears to have been a factor.
The suspect, a 51-year-old man, is in custody awaiting charges. He has 2 prior drug arrests from 1991 and several others that are sealed. Both victims are expected to survive. Hannah, Sophie.
Andrea, thanks. Now to the fallout from that deadly police shooting in Madison, Wisconsin. The family of Corey Ruiz has hired civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who says the case must be examined for excessive force, saying, quote, the family deserves the truth. Here's ABC's Pierre Thomas.
An eruption of raw emotion as local leaders tried to provide an update on the fatal police shooting of a black man at a busy intersection in Madison, Wisconsin.
We don't want to hear anything you've been saying.
That stunning moment as a man spewing anti-Semitic and anti-capitalism views suddenly emerges from the audience and literally takes the microphone from the Madison police chief while he's participating in a press conference on the shooting. The bizarre scene arising out of a city gripped in tension after this deadly police confrontation was caught on video from multiple angles on Wednesday. Police say they were responding to reports of a man checking the doors of parked cars Wednesday afternoon. Officers spotting him, but police say he took off on a bike. Police catching up with him roughly a half hour later. ABC News compiled available video on the incident, attempting to break down what happened. Hear the suspect flying off the bike as officers attempt to arrest him. Police say he pulls out a fixed blade knife. Officers try to tase him, but police say they're unsuccessful. The struggle continues with the man ending up on the ground on his side. Then 3 shots fired. That suspect later pronounced dead at the hospital. That man identified as Corey Ruiz, who community leaders say was black. Authorities claim the officer who fired the shot was injured by the knife. Police were not wearing body cameras, which are not widely used at the department.
I understand the very strong emotions that people are feeling. I'm feeling them too.
Our thanks to Pierre. The officers have been placed on administrative leave, and the police chief says state investigators from outside his department are conducting an independent investigation.
A Mississippi district attorney is defending the investigation into the death of 18-year-old Nolan Wells, who vanished while on a boating trip with his friends nearly 3 weeks ago off the Gulf Coast. The DA says the case is being handled the same way as every death investigation.
I understand the public's urgency to know what happened to Nolan, but we are not taking time for time's sake. We are taking the time required to complete the work this investigation demands.
Sources tell ABC News Wells' body was found face down, consistent with drowning, but Wells' family is skeptical. An autopsy they commissioned found the cause and manner of death undetermined. The state's autopsy is still pending.
Now to the war with Iran. The New York Times reporting Tehran rejected a U.S. ceasefire offer as strikes pound the country for nearly 2 straight weeks. And now President Trump says he's considering a, quote, massive attack. Karen Hua has more on this. Karen, good morning.
Sophie, good morning. That ceasefire offer was reportedly brought to Tehran by Iraq's prime minister after a White House visit. Those overnight strikes wrapped just hours ago. Iran says it responded with drone attacks on U.S. bases in Bahrain and Jordan. Now the president is weighing whether to go bigger. Overnight, U.S. forces hammered Iran for a 13th straight night as the president weighs escalating the nearly 5-month-old war.
And we want to get it over with. And we want to do it right.
Trump telling Axios, I am considering a massive attack, bigger than ever before. But he has not made a final call.
The president's policy is a head for an eye.
Senior officials tell ABC News the options include strikes as large as Operation Epic Fury's opening days, possibly even bigger.
They got some evil intentions. We cannot let them have a nuclear weapon.
After Iranian allied Houthis in Yemen struck these 2 Saudi ships in the Red Sea, the president warning, if they do this again, major military punishment will be inflicted upon Iran and the Houthis. Iran's foreign minister firing back on X, writing, the mindless aggression they advocate will only ensure that POTUS pays a heavier price for the deal he's trying to achieve. Already, economic fallout. Crude oil closed at $100 a barrel for the first time since May. The Dow down more than 500 points. And gas up 15 cents in a week to $4.09 a gallon. Experts say it could hit $4.40 in the coming weeks.
The world right now should tremble because a new nuclear weapons era has begun in the Middle East.
On Capitol Hill, bipartisan alarm over the president's newly inked nuclear deal with Saudi Arabia.
I want to make sure it's done under the appropriate oversight and safeguards.
The deal could lock in Saudi cooperation for Trump's Iran war after Riyadh threatened U.S. base access. But the president said the deal is totally subject to Saudi Arabia joining the very respected and successful Abraham Accords. Joining the Accords would mean normalizing relations with Israel, which Riyadh refuses to do without a path to a Palestinian state. Sophie?
Karen, thank you. An agent assigned to protect Vice President J.D. Vance is now under investigation, accused of leaking information about his travel. Last week, MS Now published a story about agents on the vice president's detail being fed up with the hastily arranged travel, including taking his son to a golf lesson via helicopter. The story caught the eye of senior leaders at the Secret Service and FBI, a source told ABC News. In a statement, the Secret Service saying any conduct that potentially threatens the safety of a protectee will not be tolerated.
A deadly storm system that's feeding off tropical moisture from Bertha is set to unleash another round of devastating flooding rain from the Tennessee Valley to the southeast as it stalls over the region.
This morning, the same storm system that brought powerful tornadoes from Kentucky to New York is now dumping torrential rain across the Carolinas. Parts of North Carolina getting more than half a foot, saturating the soil and toppling massive trees onto roads. Outside Charlotte, Trevor Tompkins pulled a man and his child from this crushed car.
I had to fight through the trees. I was standing on top of that branch that was behind the car. We pulled him out.
Crews in Raleigh clearing numerous fallen trees and power lines littering the streets. Earlier this week, that same storm front triggered deadly flooding in West Virginia. Authorities confirming 2 people were found dead as new images of the devastation emerge.
Oh my God!
This car in Buckhannon sucked underneath a bridge by raging floodwaters. And a guest at this hotel in Weston say they were shocked to find the lobby submerged in several feet of water. Meanwhile, overnight, Tropical Storm Bertha weakened to a tropical depression after making a second landfall near the Texas-Louisiana border. Bertha's remnants could still bring heavy rain and gusty winds to parts of South Texas before dissipating tonight.
As for North Carolina, the downpours are expected to continue through tomorrow.
Time now for your Friday weather.
Good morning. Bertha falling apart over Texas. Rain quickly dissipating, but still flash flooding a concern over the Carolinas. Beautiful Great Lakes and Northeast. A lot of heat out west. This front is moving slowly through the Carolinas and the south. Waves of rain into the weekend. We can see up to 4 inches of rain over eastern North Carolina. Triple-digit temperatures in the west. We're also concerned about some wildfire smoke across Washington and Oregon. That could make its way across the country as we go into early next week. Temperatures stay hot in the west next week, and it's near to below normal in the Northeast. That's your forecast. I'm ABC News senior meteorologist Lee Goldberg. Have a great weekend.
Coming up, the big vote on the injections that wellness influencers swear by.
Also ahead, the jaw-dropping scene in Houston, an 18-wheeler dangling off the freeway.
And later, the TikTok influencer accused of plotting to kill the father of her child, a former boy band star.
Welcome back. Now to a terrifying scene outside Houston when a multi-vehicle crash sent a tractor trailer plunging off a major highway and left dangling over the edge. The incident stopping traffic and shutting down parts of the interstate for hours. Thankfully, there were no serious injuries reported.
Now to some wild weather video out of eastern China. Dashcam video capturing a tornado ripping across a highway, picking up a car, then hurling it through the air. A second vehicle lifted up, then slammed back down. Comes just days after a typhoon hit the same region, the strongest there in July since 1949.
An FDA panel narrowly voted to lift a ban on several peptides despite the strong objections of career scientists. Peptides have been pushed online for their supposed health benefits in recent years, despite the lack of evidence and safety concerns. The agency banned them in 2023 as scientists said their risks hadn't been properly studied. HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has long been a supporter of the unproven compounds.
Turning to the economy, foreclosures are surging while layoffs sit near historic lows. An ABC News analysis found foreclosure filings jumped 21% in the first half of this year, with Florida leading the nation. And foreclosures in non-white zip codes have run more than 3 times the national average. Yet at the same time, fewer than 200,000 Americans filed new jobless claims last week, the fewest since 1969. Experts blame higher mortgage rates, rising property taxes, and insurance costs, and the end of COVID-era protections for people still losing their homes. Coming up, a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man caught on camera in Arkansas.
Also ahead, the incredible video of a train slicing a semi-truck clean in half. Back now with a superhero spotting in the American heartland. This traffic camera video from Jonesboro, Arkansas, captured a man in a wheelchair struggling to cross a busy intersection. And that's when your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man came to his rescue. A man dressed up as Spidey jumped out of his red Jeep to push him across. All in a day's work for your average superhero.
Now to a wild scene in western Michigan. A semi-truck cut in half after being hit by that freight train. Officials say it got stuck on the tracks in Zeeland, Michigan Wednesday night. The truck driver managed to get out before that collision. Thankfully, no one was hurt.
Now to the alleged murder-for-hire plot involving a TikTok influencer who prosecutors say targeted her child's father, who's a pop singer. ABC's Jacqueline Lee has more from Los Angeles.
A popular TikTok influencer appearing in a Los Angeles courtroom for an alleged murder-for-hire plot involving a pop singer who is the father of her child. Gabriela Gonzalez, along with her ex-boyfriend Kai Cordry, waiving their right to a speedy arraignment, requesting their arraignment and plea be pushed to September.
Do each of you waive the right to a speedy arraignment so that your arraignment may be continued to September 14, 2026?
Yes. The two, along with Gonzalez's father, are charged with multiple counts, including the attempted murder of Jack Avery, who Gonzalez shares a 7-year-old daughter with.
Why do I pull you close and then ask you for space?
Avery is also a former member of the boy band Why Don't We? Gonzalez's father, Francisco, was arrested in Florida and is expected to be extradited to Los Angeles. His attorney, President Court, joining the request for the arraignment to be pushed. Prosecutors allege this 2021 murder-for-hire plot stemmed from a years-long bitter child custody battle between Gabriela Gonzalez and Avery. According to court documents, Los Angeles prosecutors say Gonzalez partnered with Cordry and her father to surveil the pop star. They allegedly discussed hiring a hitman to make the killing look like a deadly car crash. Prosecutors also say they discussed Bitcoin payments. The attorneys representing the defendants saying there's too much discovery to go through in a short period of time to enter a plea.
We do need additional time. This is a very old case in terms of when the allegations occurred. Moreover, Your Honor, is that I need to be able to see all the documents.
Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
The judge granted the request to push arraignment to September for all three defendants. Gabriela is out on bond and wearing a GPS monitor.
Coming up, the Viking ship owners who say the world's #1 movie stiffed them on a $6,000 repair bill.
Plus, how do you beat 100 degrees in Japan? You just climb into your personal human fridge. Time to check the pulse. We begin with a damaged Viking ship used in the blockbuster film The Odyssey.
Yes, a Swedish nonprofit rented the ship to Universal Pictures for filming, and it came back with a cracked hull. They say the studio has not paid the $6,000 bill for the materials they needed for those repairs.
But Universal is pushing back, saying all invoices for the ship were paid in full, including repairs. A Japanese company's new human refrigerator is making waves.
Yeah, the country is sweltering under a heat wave hitting nearly 100 degrees. But this booth you see here, it's about the size of a vending machine. You can just step inside and take a seat. Jets of chilled air will blast your head, neck, shoulders, and back. You can get your own, but that'll set you back about $9,300.
I would like to try someone else's.
Right, some real-life cryotherapy.
Yeah, a 65-foot-long draped Frankfurter now sits in Times Square.
Oh yeah, that supersized sausage first appeared in the same spot 2 years ago. Well, it's now back in honor of the country's 250th birthday. This new version features a gold Lady Liberty on top, held together by duct tape, symbolizing the fragile nature of American society in their opinion, and the bottom is wrapped in camouflage for the war in Iran. Finally, a building that's tacky, even by Las Vegas standards.
But at least it has a heart.
Oh yeah.
Check out the casino just approved for Sin City, wrapped in a heart-shaped LED screen. But folks aren't convinced it'll be built. A 500-foot observation wheel was planned at the same site 15 years ago, but all that got built were two concrete columns that locals call pillars of sadness. Top headlines next. Checking more top stories. A dramatic rescue in Washington state. A seaplane crashed about 90 miles north of Seattle. All 11 people on board are safe after escaping from the smoky wreckage. The FAA is still determining the cause of the crash.
President Trump announced a sweeping new round of tariffs on top 60 U.S. trading partners, including the European Union. The White House cited labor violations as a justification for the tariffs that range from 10% to 12.5%. The levies will seek to replace those that were struck down by the Supreme Court earlier this year.
The man who killed two Minnesota Democratic lawmakers has been sentenced to 2 life terms. Vance Belter also received an extra 40 years after pleading guilty to stalking and shooting Mark and Melissa Hortman. The plea kept Belter from facing the death penalty.
Today's weather, a heat wave sweeps through the west. Triple-digit temperatures expected through the weekend. Flooding is still possible across parts of the southeast.
And finally this morning, proof you're never too old to raid Grandma's closet.
Here's Danny New.
NYC.
It's something we probably all used to do.
Break the lock, post my bail, done my time, I'm out of jail.
But who knew it could still be so fun as an adult?
How long have you been playing in your grandma's closet?
I've been playing in my grandma's closet since I was a kid.
A few weeks ago, millions and millions on social media were delighted as stage actress Alana Rose Wallenstein got to play dress up one more time in her grandma's closet. As you can see, the woman she calls her Oma could not stop laughing.
She actually offers for me to go into the closet every time I'm over there because of how much I've loved it my whole life.
This took place during a recent family trip to all stay at Oma's house in New Jersey, where she has lived for 55 years. And And at the moment, Alana is currently getting ready to play this role from Annie in an upcoming production. So while she was, per tradition, in her grandmother's closet,
I saw that coat, I thought of that role and that song, and then I turned and saw 2 suitcases, and I was like, I think the family is getting a show today, whether they like it or not.
So how come I'm the mother of the year?
And how could any theater kid stop at just one rendition with so much material to work with? For example, this dress is what Oma wore to Alana's father's bar mitzvah around 50 years ago. One commenter writing, "This was me as a child, giving full performances to the family and forcing them to watch until I was done." However, Alana says she doesn't think her Oma was complaining too much.
She rarely gets to see me perform anymore because she's a little bit more homebound now. So I think a lot of the delight was in the full-out performance that was taking place in her living room.
By the way, guys, Oma used to be a kindergarten teacher, and Alana says she actually heard from one of her former students because of this video, which was a very special moment for Oma.
Oh, thanks, Danny. That's your GMA First Look.